Goldsmith. Paul, welcome to the platform. Nice to have you with us.
Good to be here. Thank you, Sean. How are you going?
Very well, thank you. Look, this story caused outrage, I guess because in the current climate where people are concerned about crime and more people, particularly at supermarkets, are just seeing wanton burglary. Okay, wanton burglary occurring. A citizen does what they think is right and the cops don't back them up. Do you think we need to have a look at this from a legal perspective?
Yes, I do. I mean, I'm no different. I'm 52. I think life is racing by, but in the last couple of years, I've seen 2 or 3 people just storming out of the supermarket in the opposite direction with some beer under their arms. And I've never seen it before, but it's happened more than once in the last little while, and I think everybody has seen it. And it partly it's just a symptom of a wider kind of breakdown of law and order, and that all stems back to the topics that we've talked about a lot, about the signal around reducing prison population regardless of what's going on, and this kind of culture of excuses that we've seen. So that's part of it. But yes, and so in that context, you're left with the problem that the clear advice across the retail sector is not to intervene, and you can't do anything about it. And that message seems to be filtering through to the criminal community, and it's getting worse and worse. And so everybody has to pay for it. And so I do think there needs to be some clarification. I mean, we don't want to have a kind of a vigilante style justice system. We should rely on the police to do that. But there may be occasions where people should have a clearer understanding of what they can do to defend their property.
All right. Now, does that mean that you give them more ability to defend their property without the fear of prosecution themselves?
Yeah, well, so, I mean, I've been talking to a few people about this recently, and it's reasonably complicated legal work. So, I mean, the point I would make is if we were to be put into government in the next few weeks, this would be one of the things that we would be absolutely getting advice on, is what's the best mechanism to ensure that people, that the law is clear around people defending their...
Paul, hang on, I just want to check that you're a New Zealand politician. You're saying you actually might take some time to look at the nuances of an issue and the complexities involved and come up with a workable solution that actually achieved the outcome you wanted.
Yes.
You need to get another job. That's just not the way it's done in this country. Don't you understand?
It is tempting just to say we'll do X, but I think there's a risk. Of course, my rule of thumb as back in government, I was a minister, and look, basically, I don't know, somewhere between a third and a half of the things that Parliament does through legislation or regulation achieves the exact opposite of what you set out to achieve, because officials and politicians and don't sufficiently work out the behavioural responses from people to the rules. And so you've got to think quite carefully about exactly what you do in order to get the outcome that you want. And the outcome that we want is fewer people thinking that they can brazenly walk out of a store. And so what's the best mechanism to do that? Is it to create a defence against an assault allegation if you're in good faith preventing somebody from committing an offence? That might be one way of doing it, but there could be other ways. And so, but the fundamental point is we agree there is a problem. You can't carry on as we are at the moment, with people just wantonly walking out of stores and nobody being able to do anything about it, or feeling that they can't do anything about